We are live. Welcome back to Talk Live on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. On a Friday, we are back. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live in the third day of our third straight day of the week. And we're doing this on Friday. Yeah, we're doing a special day today. Just because. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. And let's just get into it straight away. Again, rest in peace to my cousin Keith and to all the family there. Also, rest in peace to Janice and her family. Those who know. So again, we are back here on Talk Live. We are discussing why high volume men see baby mamas. Let me just get this out of here because that was going to be disturbing. Yes, thank you very much. Back on it. There we go. So yes. So we're discussing today how high volume men see modern women as trash, quite simply. And we have three examples of that. So we're going to do this short, sharp, quick, to the point. Because it's Friday and I know you have other things to do. That's why we held it on the earlier time. So you can get dressed and do what you want because the better weather is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Springtime has finally sprung here in the city of Toronto, and I hope in your neck of the woods as well. And I was hoping that you want to get out and about. You may do so. I did a couple weeks back, and I think I will be doing so again very well. This weekend? Yeah, I have to go see the girlfriend, but other than that, I probably will get somewhere anyways. But leave that to me. I'll probably get something done. I haven't done so in a little while, and maybe a couple weeks. But anyways, that's a little too long for me. But anyways, back to it. Back to you on Talk Live, sponsored by DoneTalk, Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And yes, your love and support is always appreciated to all my talkers. Please drop a link in the comments below here on Instagram or on YouTube where we are simulcasting live here to you. Again, short and sweet, to the point. We are going to get at it. We're going to get out of here, so let me get into the browser, as we can see here, and back onto the full cam, as you know, right there. Indeed, and we are good. We are so good. Yes, indeed. Haha. Right. So let's start out. We have three examples tonight, and that is three examples. They are, proper English. Trevor Bauer, Cenat, and Fresh from Fresh and Fit. These are three. Baby mama dramas that are inundating the YouTube streets, and basically speak of women who are trying to siphon money out of men when they haven't agreed to any of their demands, be it they being baby fathers or them being pregnant or them having sex with them and don't want to be put into some compromising position. So again, yes, it is. It's unfair to these gentlemen. These gentlemen were certainly targeted by these ladies, and quite simply, we are going to get into it now live. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about first Trevor Bauer. Now, Trevor Bauer, we've already featured here already on Talk Live. That was debate late last year, and when he was in trouble with another female who tried to trap him after sleeping with her, saying that he raped her and she was trying to siphon money out of him. But Trevor Bauer, who is a pseudo legal, quite simply, and I think should go for his bar ads and his articling position, quite simply because he knows the law that is of civil litigation inside and out. He decided to, dot his I's and cross his T's and make sure that he was covered from pillar to post. And again, there'll be allusions to that here on Talk Live tonight. And he covered his own bases, and those charges were thrown out and as being baseless. Now he's being hit again with another woman he slept with. Actually, it'll go into the fact that this is not the first time for Trevor Bauer at all. He has endured this many a time, and it has literally cost him a multi-million-dollar career simply because he has been seen as bad business for Major League Baseball, where he was a Cy Young pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Also, he pitched for the Dodgers. Also, he pitched for the Cleveland Indians. I know because they beat us out in the divisional series way back when he was a pitcher for that team at that time. So again, Trevor Bauer was one of the better slightly arrogant, yes, but one of the better pitchers in the American League, if not in baseball. And he was, his career was taken away from him by allegations of sexual assault. And again, now he's pitching in Mexico. But they'll get into this story right here, so we're going to get into it. This is from Nate the Lawyer. Subscribe to Nate the Lawyer. He's doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful work in these YouTube streets. And again, his numbers are rising, and credit to him because he's doing wonderful work out here on YouTube. And yes, the name of the post here is MLB star saved after cops arrest a woman for making fake assault claims. Yes, indeed, they went after Trevor Bauer again, thinking that he's an easy mark, but he's not an easy mark. So let's get into it now and talk live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get at it.
Battery 60%.
Happened. This woman who perpetrated a Me Too fraud has been indicted for fraudulent schemes and theft by extortion. I never thought this day would come. Can get. But as a multi-millionaire pitcher, women were after his money by any means necessary. Now, if this seems very familiar to you, that's because we did a video that got 1.6 million views about another woman who straight up lied about how Trevor Bauer allegedly assaulted her, but come to find out, it was all nonsense. Take a look.
Former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer is speaking out after settling a lawsuit with a woman who accused him of sexual assault. Bauer released this video today claiming that he has evidence his accuser set him up and was trying to take his money.
Trevor says everything was completely consensual. He also released these text messages that came out in court indicating that you had planned the whole thing out. So I want to read some of these texts from you to a friend, between the two of you, before you met Trevor, this one. Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. Okay. Victim is an interesting choice of words. I'm going to allow you a chance to explain yourself. But after you agreed to meet, you asked your friend what you should steal. Your friend answered his money. He says, another one from you to a friend, I'm going to his house Wednesday. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. With a screenshot in which you told him, tryouts don't scare me, Bauer. Pick a day and I am there. Here are some more after you and Trevor met up. Net worth is $51 million, to which your friend responds, bitch, you better secure that bag. Your text, need daddy to choke me out, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million. You say this wasn't a setup. How can you expect anyone to believe that?
So yes, that accuser was a straight up fraud. She was a liar. I mean, a monster liar. I am actually shocked that she wasn't charged with a crime. But that wasn't Trevor Bauer's only accuser. It seems like this guy loves the crazy woman. Now let me introduce you to Adana.
My name's Adana. Adana, by the way.
Your name?
Adana.
Adana?
Yeah, that's my name.
Adana.
Adana.
Oh, I'm from Adana.
She was crowned Miss Black Arizona USA in 2016. Now she can be found at Hey Adana on Instagram and has a YouTube channel. She was also named one of the most eligible bachelorettes in Arizona. So now this beautiful woman meets pitcher Trevor Bauer, who's now $50 million richer, and starts demanding to have sex with them. So obviously this story is a major story. This woman who's accused Trevor Bauer of assault is now charged with defrauding him. Now I always like to see how each side is framing the story. So when you go on Ground News, you can actually come here and you can see who's covering the story and how many outlets are covering it. And one thing I noticed about the coverage of the story is that the left-leaning sources have a very generic title. For instance, a woman accused Trevor Bauer of sexual assault is now charged with defrauding ex-MLB player. Where on the right, they're a little bit more descriptive. Trevor Bauer accuser charged with allegedly defrauding ex-MLB pitcher by faking pregnancy. Now at Ground News, I get coverage details. How many articles are published about this story?
Okay,
a story
we're going to move on from there because he has to sell his own
She's
product,
going to literally be begging him to have sex with her. In females, for example, hormones present at ovulation can drive a woman to choose a cocky, confident man with a slight stubble and more masculine features. Men can sniff out an ovulating woman just by smelling her t-shirt. Women appear to prefer the smell of a man, dissimilar genes, which could give her a boost up the evolutionary ladder. I guess you smelled cocky and confident with slight stubble. I did make that comment that your shoulders look broad and are strong. My feminine lenses were on. Then she just comes straight out and says it, "Can I sleep with you?" She said.
Yeah. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, she's literally asking this. Well, she's begging for a bit of attention. And with that, a bit of, well, you'll see how things run here as we move on. Let's continue.
As I just want to sleep next to you again. I will be very quiet, promise. And I will sleep through. In the morning, I'll have to leave and will slip out with a blink. She keeps begging. I'm not certain, but can I sleep over there later? I'm not certain if, but can I sleep there? It's peaceful for me. Now, after they slept together, she asked Trevor Bauer for a sample of his sperm so she can have his baby.
At one point, she even requested a sample of my sperm so she could have my child whenever she wanted to in the future.
So Bauer said hell to the nizzo on the sperm donor request. Then this woman, Lindsay Hill, made her false allegations against Bauer. So guess what? Adana said, I slept with him too. Let me say he forced me to have an abortion so I can get that money too.
More than a year after the one time we slept together, and only after Lindsay Hill made up her false allegations, Adana retained a lawyer. She then demanded $3.6 million and claimed I forced her to have an abortion, leaving her emotionally devastated and irretrievably damaged by it. But here's the thing, she never had an abortion because she was never even pregnant, and that's corroborated by her own medical records.
So, as you can see, this lady lied, straight up lied, just to try and get this man's money. Again, trying to follow on from the former Mrs. Hill, the former Mrs. Hill, and his former accuser who tried to accuse him of rape. So she tried to use the same playbook, but instead this time she said that she got an abortion because of the abortion. It left her, it left her traumatized and debilitated, and then she wanted to get paid $3.6 million. Ladies and gentlemen, hell knoweth no fury than a woman scorned, and quite simply, he didn't want her. He didn't want her. He didn't want any piece of her. And he saw what Melissa Hill did with regards to Mr. Bauer, and she wanted to follow suit. She wanted to get her own bag, so she threw a lawsuit in there saying that she won $3.6 million because, well, she had to abort a child, which never happened. Never happened. So what are we to do about this? Once again, that's why it's, high value. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that's going to recur the whole night tonight is that high value men have targets on their back. Any successful man has a target on their back, literally. And successful women are only looking to get a piece of what they have earned on that men have earned on their own. Quite simply, it's the truth. They're part of if you're part of the top 20%, guaranteed you're gonna find a woman. If you are so successful that you are notorious and worthy of notoriety, that you're going to get a woman who's going to try and sleep with you, get pregnant by you, take your money. That's basically the story. Because listen, as has been stated, I would say about 90 to 95% of women, of the top earning women in the world, usually have received that money through either inheritance or through divorce. Case in point, the Amazon head, the Amazon head and his wife. So again, and Elon Musk and his baby mothers as well. So again, it's something that's this is a tale as old as time. It's just that it's more overt these days through social media and through entertainment blogs as such. But again, this is not new to Trevor Bauer because again, women see him as the man that they can push over, the man that they can steal from, and Trevor's always now been aware of what's going on and is protecting himself as he should. Let's continue.
Adana just said, hey, let's just stop with it. He assaulted me too.
She made up a bogus sexual assault claim and filed a civil suit against me. In that version of her story, she claimed, for the first time by the way, that there was non-consensual sex, but her texts from the next morning show what actually happened. Remember this text in which she explains why she came on to me?
Now, she did find a law firm who would negotiate whether she could get a settlement or not. How do we know that? Well, here is the email. Great. I appreciate your time and input today and am glad we can agree to $750K to $3.6 million as a settlement bracket. As explained on the phone, we will start high and understand the lowest you will accept to settle is $750K. Have a beautiful day. And she writes, I agree, I appreciate, and thank you. But now we had a problem. She was saying she had an abortion, but all the documents and all the medical records said she was never pregnant. Now, because the evidence was so not there, her lawyers had to drop her. Here's the email. Quote, to confirm without proof of the abortion or even a date of the abortion, we cannot continue to represent you. We urge you to consult with other attorneys who may have different standards. This is the lawyer saying, you're full of crap. Good luck.
So, let's go back to I love that statement there anyway. So, yes, it says, to confirm without proof of abortion or even the date of the abortion, we cannot continue to represent you. We urge you to consult with other attorneys who may have different standards. The fact of the matter is, certain lawyers have no standards. They see a quick buck and they're going to try and make it, quite simply, including in this case. How, as seen by prior emails between client and lawyer that literally state, okay, we're gonna start our lowest asking price. Our lowest price of demand is $750,000. We're going up to about $3 million. Asked from the client, and Adana was quite happy with that result. It's an easy pickup for an allegation that wasn't really true. Once found not to be true, well, again, they dropped her as a client. Literally dropped her as a client. So you think that was the end of it. No other right-minded lawyer would represent her, do you? No. Wait, there's more.
This is the lawyer saying, you're full of crap. Good luck. So then Adana found some other lawyers to represent her, but Trevor Bauer had some more ammo. He sent them over an audio recording of her disproving all of her claims on tape.
And shared an audio recording I have in which Adana contradicts her own claims and asks me for money.
Now Adana got some new attorneys. So now with all this evidence, the audio recording, no medical records even show she had an abortion, and on top of that, she was never even pregnant, these last attorneys had to come to Jesus moment and claim that, hey, we gotta drop you because you're full of crap. Quote, hi, Adana. As your legal counsel, we have all agreed that the recording is detrimental to your case, to the point that we are very likely not to be able to continue representation of you on this matter. We are requesting a copy of the recording to verify the authenticity. I know this is difficult news, but without medical records of your abortion and a recording like this is what we feel is insurmountable. Hugs, Amy. Now,
kudos to Trevor Bauer. He's doing better than any defense attorney out there. Quite simply, he's literally stopped every advance upon him with facts, data, and statistics, evidence, pure, unadulterated evidence, to a point where 2 law firms dropped Adana as a client. They said that you are full of crap and you should move on. Go figure. We should be so lucky. We should have that sort of evidence in the back of our pockets anytime that we're in any sort of trouble, so we can just walk through any door and feel good about our prospects of success again in any sort of litigation. That is, come on. But Adana. She doesn't tend to listen to the truth, the facts, the data, the statistics, and the lies that she's been telling, and that she's had to soup up with a straw. Let me say that. So again, we're gonna continue with this because it's not over yet. It is not over yet. Adana doesn't give up much because listen, she's got $3.6 million on the table. So guess what? She's gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink at this to see if something stinks. Let's continue.
Now, since the police department were investigating her claims of sexual assault against Trevor Bauer, they got the same evidence that Trevor showed you.
Oh, that's the twist. Before she could ever do that, the police got their hands on this. Yes, the DA's office in Arizona got their hands on these little bits of fraudulent claims, and they decided to do something about it. Let's continue.
And then things turned really bad for Adana. She went from victim to suspect, a suspect who's extorting powerful men for money. So the police took their evidence and turned it over to the DA's office, and the DA then indicted Adana. Here is that indictment. Now, a shocking thing in this indictment is that Trevor Bauer wasn't the only person she was trying to extort. This other guy, Marco Brascani. Quote from count 1 of the indictment, she knowingly did obtain a benefit from Marco Brascani and Trevor Anthony Bauer by means of fraudulent pretenses, representations, promises, or material omissions. And it seems like she had it in for our friend Marco here, because the document says in count 2, she knowingly did obtain or sought to obtain property or services from Marco by threat to expose some secret in the future on social media, whether it was true or false. That is what they were saying she was doing to my man Marco. Now, Arizona has 6 classes of felonies. Class 1 is your premeditated murder that can get your life in prison, and Class 6 is your non-violent offense. Very, very minor felony. Now, Adana is being charged with a Class 2 felony, which is pretty high. That's fraudulent schemes. Essentially, this is trying to gain a benefit, money, under some type of false pretenses. Second is theft by extortion, the Class 4 felony, and that one, Marco is the sole victim. This was...
So stop there. So not only has she tried to extort money from Trevor Bauer, the famous Major League Baseball pitcher, she tried to extort money from this Marco Brascani. So this is not new. She is very, very much a con lady. Very, very much a con. And as you can see from the court records, this is done very recently. The DA's office in Arizona has brought these charges. These felony charges against Ms. Esamonyu, Adana Esamonyu. The fact, and these, by 2 different men. She seems she likes white guys, but taking money from white guys. But yeah, so again, she's got a count 2 and count 4 felony against her in terms of extortion, which is fantastic. It's simply fantastic. It is. Let me say this. I am all for women sticking up for themselves and obtaining retribution for serious crimes against them, be it sexual assault, be it rape. The R word, be it any sort of abuse, mental or physical. But if it's truly warranted, as in the case of Diddy and his tales, but the fact of the matter is, this happens all the time to high value men. They are always seen as targets by these ladies who think they can make a quick buck from these gentlemen because simply because and the fact of the matter is, for these men to find love, it's so much harder. Everybody thinks, oh, you got all this money, so much easier. No, it's so much harder because you have women like this coming around who will only want you for your money. There's no love interest whatsoever. We have a comment here from Chanel saying that could be a lot of time. Yes, it can be a lot of time for Adana Esamonyu. Yes, it can be. Yes. Because this didn't happen once. This happened many more times to other men. And who knows who will come forward and to add to the count against Ms. Esamonyu. It is stunning, really. Something that I hope that will be seen as a cautionary tale. A very big cautionary tale to all females out there. So let's continue with this.
the pay me or I'm going to release bad information about you. Now, for the Class 2 felony, she's looking at between 3 and 12.5 years if convicted. And for the Class 4 felony, the extortion, she's looking at a range between 1 and 4 years. Now, think about this, people. Trevor Bauer, I don't know this guy. Hell,
so, again, just to recount that Trevor Bauer has her for extortionary, Class 4, yes. Trevor Bauer has charged on her in Arizona for extortionary schemes, and Mr. Was it Dasani? Is it believe? Yes. He has her for a Class 4 felony of extortion. So this lady has done it before, and who knows? This may be a class action suit because who knows who may come to the fore, anyways. But it goes to show that I'm glad that these men, be it high value, be it value of any value for any reason, they are starting to hold women to account. Because if you want to be equals, fine, you'll be equals, but you'll be held to the same standard to which men are handled in these sort of scenarios and these sort of detrimental, life-threatening, future-threatening observations and life pieces here. So it's terrible. It's terrible that these men have to go through these certain things, including Trevor Bauer, which you will see what happened in his future, even though he was proven innocent in both of these cases. He's proven innocent in both these cases, but you see where Trevor Bauer ended up anyway as we go along with this. Let's continue.
I don't even know if I like this guy. But this guy has had 4 women either recount their stories or straight up have been caught lying about him assaulting them, which is insane. And these false allegations has cost them a lot. It's cost him a multi-million-dollar major league career.
Glenn and Lou, this is a landmark decision. It is the longest suspension of its kind, and it is a stunning move by the Major League Baseball commissioner in response to allegations of sexual
assault. The man did nothing. These are all allegations from a woman. So any man, let's make this clear. Any woman could have the inclination of saying, you know what, I want his money, let me claim some sexual assault against him, and that could ruin his career. Can literally ruin his career. Through no fault of his own. It's stunning to me how that be the case. But it's true. Let's continue.
Sexual assault and domestic violence. Some fans are now saying they believe this is far too harsh a punishment for a man they believe is not guilty. The firestorms twirling around Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer takes a shocking new turn, with Major League Baseball suspending the right-hander for 2 full seasons without pay, effective immediately. According to reports, the suspension does not include the 99 regular season games Bauer has missed since being placed on administrative leave on July 2nd, 2021. MLB announced this decision following an investigation into domestic violence and sexual assault allegations made against the pitcher. The Dodgers say the
which he was innocent, mind you. He was innocent, and is innocent of these charges now. They've been fully investigated. He's innocent. He's still not pitching any major league team, even though he's one of the best. Let's continue.
The organization takes all allegations of this nature very seriously and does not condone or excuse any acts of domestic or sexual violence.
Now, Trevor Bauer is not pitching in the major leagues. He's pitching in Mexico because of these allegations. But I want you to hear from him what he says at the end of this video.
At this point, I'm not sure what else I can possibly do to prove my innocence in all this. I did not do what I was accused of. And every institution that our society is entrusted to rule on issues like these, like courts, judges, law enforcement officers, prosecutors, they all agree with me. They've rejected every single claim made against me, even going as far as charging one of my accusers with a felony. If any evidence of any of these claims actually existed, I would have been charged, or at the very least arrested. But that never happened. What else do I have to do to prove that this entire situation has been a massive lie? This is
There it is, my people. That is the utter shame. The other shame is that a guy like Trevor Bauer, who was just living his life, being a pitcher. Yes, he could have been a little loose with the women, but he did nothing wrong. Has now, the accusations of other women have cost him a major league career. Cost him a major league career. Such is the burden upon men. Such is the gynocracy as we speak. That even if there is nothing against you, that you did nothing wrong, the sphere of any sort of skullduggery around you, if you're seen as bad for business, that can cost you your career as well. Which is a shame. Which is an absolute, utter shame. But that's what Trevor has to go through right now. He's in Mexico. He's pitching for no reason other than a woman decided they wanted to get his money. That's why, to a lot of these high-value men, modern women are trash. What more can you say? It's an open shut case. Why has this man been punished for something he didn't do? Just saying.
Insane. At what point do I get to go back to work and continue earning a living?
So this woman is facing multiple felony charges, and Trevor Bauer can't get his job back. And we have so many examples of this. Saif Khan, who I interviewed on the channel, he's a former Yale student who's literally now suing his accuser for defamation. He was found not guilty in a court of law, but Yale still kicked him out of the school.
People watching across the country hear that you were accused of something. You said it was consensual. You were eventually acquitted of this. Why did the university decide to kick you out anyway?
They are a corporation. They are not the government. They are not beholden to due process. They don't have to care. They have to simply see what is their bottom line. And so there was a ton of campus pressure from girls feeling uncomfortably being in class with me or in the dining hall. And so they just expelled me anyway. One of the
Saifullah Khan. Saifullah Khan, sorry, my bad, is another example of a potential high-value man. He's going to Yale Law School. Accused of sexual assault, was proven innocent of all charges, and yet he can't complete his education and cannot start. Well, I'm sure he'll go to another university and start it there, but he cannot start what would be a six-figure, and a high six-figure at that, career in law. Simply because the gynocracy and business won't make it so. They won't do it. They won't approve it. Because women are self-conscious of a man who was he was literally accused of sexual, of SA. And he was exonerated of all charges. But it didn't feel safe with him in the classroom. So they expelled him. They continued the expulsion because it's a private university. And their job is to protect their bottom line. And if the gynocracy says so, they say so. Off he goes. It's a shame. It's another... I mean, this is a high-value man who is well on his way to being that way, and his time of earning has to be delayed because I have no doubt he'll be a success in future, but it has to be delayed because of some woman, because of a woman scorned, quite simply. There's no two ways about it. And because the whole moniker of believe all women still holds true. Even though he has been exonerated as such. Let's see if there's any comments going on here. Thank you very much for joining me at Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get on with this, yes. Because the story still continues. We have 2 more stories to go. Let's go.
Craziest arguments that Yale had said was, that just because a court of law says that you're not guilty doesn't mean we think you're not guilty.
And let's not forget about Matt Ariza, where the woman said that she was assaulted by him, but come to find out, he wasn't even at the location. He was somewhere else. He wasn't even there.
Threefold. One is nowhere in those videotapes will you see Matt Ariza because he wasn't in the room. Secondly, they will depict that the plaintiff was a willing participant in the sexual acts that occurred that evening. And thirdly,
let that sink in. She was a willing participant in the acts that evening. It was proven that she was a willing participant in the acts that evening. But don't believe what the men tell you. Take what the lady tells you and run. Believe all women. That's what the dinocracy has done to such an establishment, to a point where men can't earn an honest living anymore. At the whim of a woman. Can you believe it? I can't.
It shows that she was not engaging in conduct that would be distressing at the time.
Oh.
The videos were obtained by the San Diego Police Department during their investigation, and these are the same videos the district attorney's office reviewed when they decided not to file any criminal charges against any of the players, including former SDSU and Buffalo Bills punter Matt Ariza.
And let's not forget about the motherlode of all cases Dep V. heard. Now, I think the issue here is, in all these cases, it seems like people don't want to believe the facts and truth in front of them. In this particular case, Trevor Bauer, that accuser, she lied. My God, she's being prosecuted for those lies. And in all of the cases that we've just gone over, it's the same exact thing. This is not even really about the accusations anymore. It's about how do we react and treat people when we find out those accusations are false. Saif Khan should have been let back into Yale, no problem. Trevor Bauer, he should have been given his job back in a huge I'm sorry from Major League Baseball. We didn't know she was trying to defraud you. We believed all women. If you haven't already...
There it is. We believe all women. We believe all women. And it's not about the court of law. It's about the court of public opinion. That's more important than the court of law. That's why these men can't go on with their lives. Because the court of public opinion, which is run by the gynocracy, will not let these men go. Even though these were sheer accusations and come to think about it, sheer lies. But we're not done there. That is case one. I would say we've done about 3 or 4 cases in that one. But that is indeed case one. That is the Trevor Bauer case that is still ongoing to this day. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. And shout out to the Nate the lawyer, Fair Use, for his video here. Wonderful, wonderful bits of journalism and legal definition for y'all. And again, fantastic bits of work by Nate the lawyer. Please like and subscribe to him if you can. He's doing wonderful work in these YouTube streets. But we're not done there. No, we go to part 2. And that involves the world-famous streamer Cenat. I think one of the most famous streamers on YouTube. Now, the next 2 cases involve, well, African-American men. They did indeed shoot their shot. But, however, they shot their shot, I wouldn't say in terms of making babies, but they shot the shot in terms of sexual activity with these ladies. However, these ladies took it upon themselves to, well, try to steal a bag from them. So, but again, these guys are not to be taken lightly, as we will see in the second show, the second scenario, in which adult actress gets destroyed by Cenat after trying to extort him. Another extortion case by another modern woman, of whom is deemed trash. Let's go into it here. Thank you to Araco TV. He's doing wonderful. I love Araco TV. I love Araco TV. He's doing wonderful things YouTube streets. He just hit 1 million subscribers. His 10-minute videos are certainly spectacular. And he does a very, very wonderful synopsis of what went on in the Cenat matter, which is still going on to this day. So let's get into it here on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into it. In case number 2.
Can we pull the button? Oh, it's too much black.
Say oh God.
Oh God.
Now, the woman that you see there is a porn star, and the guy that she's talking to, you probably recognise. He's one of the biggest streamers in the world. He's called Cenat. Now, you can see here, they're flirting a little bit on his stream. She's saying that she's going to go around his house, and he's saying, yeah, pull up. She ends up pulling up, and he ends up regretting it, because she ends up doing this.
You can't see on Talk Talk Live, she's literally taking pictures of Kai while he's sleeping. After their
Now, not only did she post these pictures, but she also posted screenshots claiming that Cenat paid $5,000 for her to go around and...
5,000! 5,000! That's a 5,000!
And she also posted more videos basically blackmailing him, saying that he needs to pay the other half or she's going to release more stuff.
Man, this y'all's favorite streamer. You know I ain't want to be the one to break the bad news, but man, grown man pay for that's all I'm saying. Don't run me my check, baby. How you just ruin your own career like that? Just pay the money, bro. I would have just kept quiet. I'm just saying, like, all that for this. Was it worth it? I just would have got my money. I would have shut up.
Who the fuck you think you talking to?
Indeed, who the hell do you think you're talking to? Because that's where things get really, really messy. In this instance, because what she's doing right here is she's confessing to a crime. She's literally going on TikTok and telling the world that she engaged in criminal activity and she wanted Cenat to pay for it. I know dumb criminals are born every minute, but here she was that minute. She was definitely that minute. Let's continue.
As you can tell, this donut is lacking brain cells and she's got no shame. She's admitting that she takes money to smash. She's incriminating herself online by blackmailing someone and posting revealing pictures of him. And now Cenat has got all the ammunition he needs to sue her.
I think some more dumb shit. Y'all probably know. It's some dumb shit, cult chasing, weird ass shit going on right now, bro. But it's alright though. It's alright though, Shaq. I'll see you in court.
He would see her in court, yeah, because Cenat's no dummy, and he's not a poor man. He's got a lot of money, more money than this porn star, this corn star will ever have in her life. But she wants to make an example of herself, so Kai's going to do that. He's going to show you here on Talk Talk Live. They do it. He's going to do it. Why? Because he's a world famous streamer, so he has millions of people watching him on a daily basis. There's a sucker born every minute. Oh, there's a cheaper one born every second. Anyways, let's go.
Got you. Okay, listen to me. Okay, I can explain, bro.
Now, this ended up making the genius porn star respond, and she also ended up incriminating herself even more.
Come on now, y'all. Of course he was going to come back with a story saying he going to sue me. How else was he going to look good to the vlogs? I mean, you like a certified trick right now. Duh. Court! Well, I mean, since I'm going to court, I might as well leak the Addy, the videos. Played your You was supposed to pay me my other half to keep quiet. You did it.
I leave her mouth open for a reason. She's still got gum in her mouth, so again. What an idiot. Literally confessing to a crime on TikTok. To a man who has all the wealth and means to throw her in jail. And he will. Oh, he will. He will, but I'll let him tell you the story. Hold on. Well, I finish the diatribe first.
I hit you up. You didn't want to respond. You thought I was going to take the little chump change that you paid me not to say nothing. No. I need all my funds. What are you talking about? Or I'm just gonna put this all over the world and I'm gonna get my funds from everybody else. I'm ready to take you to court, little P. Diddy Jr. Sue me, then. You won't get too far.
Keep telling yourself that, dog.
You gonna wish you would have just paid me my money. Ain't nobody suing me. He lying.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, he's not lying about taking her to court and suing her. He's definitely doing that. And he's also exposed her for lying about the money that he sent her.
Your time has come. I'm gonna get real disrespectful. You tried it. Your time has come. You're done. What of my mother? You guys may have seen this text. Okai sent $5,000 on October 4th at 12:29 p.m. on a Wednesday. Wait, Kai, hold on. You also sent $5,000 on November 10th at 12:34 a.m. You want to go ahead and lie and say, I sent you this money. Let's go to transactions of 2023. Okay, as you can see.
Before he goes there, let me just show you this.
And say, I
stop it there. If you look into the corner of the camera, let me just go back here for a second. So you can see it for yourself. In the corner of this camera shot, I want to get a little better here. In the corner of this camera shot, it said, you getting out of jail. He said, yeah, there's $5,000 cash. It was bail money. This text message was actually bail money, if not for her, for them, for someone else. That's where this money was dedicated for. It wasn't from guess who, as he'll show you. Watch.
Sent $5,000 on November 10th at 12:34 a.m. You want to go ahead and lie and say, I sent you this money.
See, they say they're letting you out.
2023. Okay, as you can see, these are my good friends. My dudes get $2,000 whenever she wants. She get whatever she wants. Nothing there. Go to November. Stop. Flyer artists, hairstylist, facial lady, flyer artist. Lay the f***ing rent. $50 for your dumbass Uber. I got you Uber. $50. What you talking about, nigga?
So she photoshopped the screenshots. They're not even real messages. And not only that, but she signed an NDA, and he's also going to take her down for taking naked pictures of him. Obviously.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. So not only did you lie, but you Photoshop and these dumb really ran with it? Really? Oh, you smarter than I thought. That's why we need more. Do you know what an NDA is? Let me go ahead and explain it to you. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. A confidential relationship means one or both parties has a duty not to share that information. Okay, which you signed, Kiara Rush. You signed that, Kiara Rush. Oh, no. Wait, hold on, Kiara. What did you post to me, Kiara? Not only did you sign an NDA, but you also, while I was sleeping, butt-ass naked, decided to just post me online. Now, what do you call that, ladies and gentlemen? Revenge. Now, revealing or sexually explicit image or videos of a person posted on the internet.
And believe it or not,
So let's line up the crimes that she's accused of. Number one, she's accused of extortion. Number two, she went against an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Number three, she's accused of engaging in revenge porn. So that's 3 crimes against her. Okay. Seems that porn industry ain't paying you too much. Fair enough. Okay. What is Kai going to do about this now? What is Kai going to do about it, huh?
Gets even worse for her because Kai Cenat's gone and recorded her in 4K audio trying to extort him.
You must have not remembered as you were talking to me. I don't know if you noticed, but you were recorded with voice 4K audio of you threatening me to post images for money, but my phone was like this on my lap. You didn't think I recorded, right? Run the audio, Your Honor. Blackmail me for a photo, for money, and you took a picture of me without my consent, naked. So? Revenge porn.
I ain't posted.
That's revenge porn. But you're threatening it. You threatening to. You threatening to though. But you're threatening to though.
Yeah, because you're turning sideways.
I know, but it's still fine. I'm not messed up though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not messed up. It's still a crime though.
I don't post it. I'm sure
Yeah, but I know, but you'll get in trouble for it. It's coming from you. You're the source. You've text messages. You've admitted. You've admitted. Yeah, but bro, it makes no sense. I'm just telling. I'm not billing me for a photo for money. And you took a picture of me without my consent, naked. Revenge porn.
I ain't posted.
That's revenge porn. But you're threatening. You're threatening to.
One more time.
You're threatening to though.
One more time.
But you're threatening to.
One more time.
I know, but it's still a crime. It's still a crime. I'm not messed up though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not messed up. It's still a crime though.
I don't post it.
Call the police.
The thousands of people I can send it to will post it.
I know, but you'll get in trouble for that.
How?
It's coming from you.
Why is she saying how to a crime that she never committed? How? How is she saying how to a crime she never committed? She's already perjured herself. She's already confessed to the crime. She's already gone on camera to confess to the crime. Yeah, this is gonna not be too long. I mean, she's getting her 15 minutes of fame, right? Listen, she's part of the trash generation. Let's continue.
You're the source.
How would I get in trouble?
You've text messages. You've admitted.
I don't have any text
messages. You've admitted. Yeah, but bro, it makes no sense. I'm just telling. I'm not billing me for a photo.
She's clearly never had to suffer the consequences for her past actions, and you can tell that she's done this before to other men, and they've probably just given up, kept quiet, and paid her the money. She's probably seen Cenat as an easy target. He's young, he's rich, he seems kind of goofy on his streams, and as much as he's a bit of a muppet for messing with her, he's not as stupid or as soft as he seems.
Now, she's panicking right now. Kiara, I know you're watching this. Hey. Finish her. How will we make sure that this doesn't happen again? One, stop with these type of. That's it. Not only will I be suing this for everything that she has, I don't give a f if you have $15.
Stop dealing with these hoes.
You're done. My lawyer's on top. We're gonna make sure that you learn your lesson and that this doesn't happen to anybody else that encounters with you. I took it upon myself to buy your domain.
I can see what he's doing. I can see it. I feel it. He's cooking.
I bought your domain because you didn't buy it when you first started your career, didn't you? Now you might ask, what does that mean, Kai? It means every time somebody types in the first website that they will click on is all the lies you've told me, or the crimes you've done, or the dumb you just put yourself in to f up your life. So no, your OF link won't pop up first. No. No, Pornhub or anything like that won't pop up first. Oh, no. The top link will be showing everything that you've done. You made a mistake with me. I'm going to make sure that we smoke on you.
No, the whole reason she did all this was for more money and attention. So if that domain trick works and none of her OnlyFans or comes up, then good.
Now, what's your last option? Your last option is to do something really dumb that will put you in jail for the rest of your life or something like that.
It's funny you said that because I went on Twitter a few hours after he posted this video, and apparently after seeing all this, she's going to leak pictures of his meat.
I beg your pardon?
Now look, if she's done this, then she's definitely done and she should go to jail, because there's no way if a man does all this to a woman that he's getting away with it. And this is why Cenat or any young man needs to stay away from toxic women like this. If you don't mess with porn stars, OnlyFans girls, just attention-seeking hoes, you don't have to worry about any of this type of shit. Especially if you're this successful like Cenat. There's no need to go with these types of women. Pick a nice, decent woman that's actually got dignity. Women like her don't respect themselves, so they're never going to respect you. They'll throw you under the bus the first opportunity they get. There's only one place a woman like her belongs.
She belongs to the streets.
She does belong to the streets, and soon she'll belong in jail. She'll have a well, I don't think she. Yeah, probably she will, because she leaked his meat. If Arako is right in the sense that his meat is leaked, well, he'll probably send her to jail, because that's revenge porn in the extreme. So not only did she went out against an NDA, not only she was guilty, is she guilty of through her confessions, on camera of extortion. Not only is she guilty of, yes, going against the NDA, now she's leaked his meat. It's like, it's the trifecta. There's only one place for her, the streets of jail. And clearly she's going to jail. So again, thank you very much to Araco. Araco has come in and helped us out to say that modern women are trash, especially to high-value men, especially a woman like this. But again, the first thing that Cenat should have never done was mess around with us. Just don't. Just shouldn't have. And if you were going to mess around, you should have just packed up your shit, get her out of your house that night. But we all have to learn, and hopefully Cenat has learned his lesson. But he has enough money to get him out of such situations. So again, we wish Cenat well in his future endeavors. Now let's get to the nitty and gritty. The third case, and that is of Fresh and Fit. This one has been going on for the last couple of weeks. I've avoided the issue. I wanted to make sure all the facts were in to a certain extent, and we have those facts now. And the story goes like this: Fresh met up with this young lady of Chinese origin, of which he made his girlfriend, and he had her as his girlfriend, riding around, taking her on trips, and brought her home to see his mother and his family, and they were a true item. Until one day, as stated by Fresh himself, that she wanted a condo of her own, paid for by Fresh. Fresh wasn't going for it. He didn't want it. Didn't want anything to do with it. So they were on the outs from there. Now, to try and lock in Fresh. Now, what Fresh did so terribly wrong is the fact that he went in and had sexual intercourse with this woman, well, without protection. Let's call a spade a spade. No protection whatsoever. And so he is now dealing with the allegations of pregnancy from this lady. And not only the allegation of pregnancy from the lady, but he's come to realize that this woman was not exactly who she thought she were. I mean, she alleged that she came from a rich Chinese family and came from wealth, but in actuality, she was just an ordinary Chinese lady who was thrown out of her job from place to place, and who was, well, as you'll see, a lady of the night. And from there, we're gonna allow for my man Myron from Fresh and Fit to explain his side of the story and brings us all up to speed, because again, this is what a lot of sites won't tell you, because they don't like Fresh. They don't like Fresh, they don't like Fit, they don't like what they stand for, and they don't like their success. So any chance they get to dunk on these guys, they'll try. But we're going to let Myron tell it from their side, and we're going to let it go from there. But again, I believe this is the tape where this is not the tape where their legal reputation comes in. We're going to break it. We're going to allow Myron to explain what has gone on thus far, give a bit of evidence, and then we're going to go to their lawyers. So let's get into it here on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get it.
/Fresh Fit. We're live on all the platforms right now. As you guys can see, we already got 14,000 on here, and we just started this bad boy, right? Rumble.com/Fresh Fit, CastleClub.tv, because if we do got to take this video down, you guys are going to be able to find it on Rumble. But what I will do is I'm going to go outline the relationship for you guys, okay? I have dates here, etc., and we're going to walk through it real fast. So, number one, they were never in a serious relationship, okay? Though she might say, oh, I was in a serious relationship with him, and she goes on this podcast saying, I loved him, etc. He was seeing other women. And you guys know that because if you saw the video clip, right, she says that he was talking to other women. So she knows that, right? So they met on November.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my goodness. Why did I do that for? No.
This segment is all dedicated to TJ because we've been waiting the whole afternoon.
Sorry about that, guys. Just one second. One second.
Last week.
Let me get this up to speed again. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. I cannot believe I did that. Let me do this quickly. And there we go. And let me do this right quick before we restart things. Okay, here we go. Yes. I believe that's that was what I wanted to see. Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Somehow that happened. Okay, here we go. We're back again. We are back again. So let us go through this one more time. Back here. Okay. Yes. We're back. Okay, let's go again. Sorry about that, guys. There was a little technical issue.
So, number one, they were never in a serious relationship, okay? Though she might say, oh, I was in a serious relationship with him, and she goes on this podcast saying I loved him, etc. He was seeing other women. And you guys know that because if you saw the video clip, right, she says that he was talking to other women. So she knows that, right?
So what I was saying was, getting back to it, this may be true or untrue. Again, he may have seen her as a number one, but he was seeing other women. Again, true or untrue, we do not know. We only can believe what Myron is telling us because he is nearer to ground zero. So let's go.
So they met on November 21st at El Santo, okay, which is a club here in Miami, right? Pretty much fresh trademark. They went on their first date November 26th. They had sex that night, okay? She left on November 28th for New York. As you guys know, this girl has an apartment in New York as well. She was going back and forth between here and there. And then they talked on WhatsApp on January 1st, 2024. So he saw her again, guys, right? So she left the 28th, and then he started talking on WhatsApp on the 1st. I mean, they were talking on Instagram before that, but as you guys know, we can't show those messages because first Instagram got wiped with mine. Then, on December 28th to January 10th, she was in Miami, right? They spent a few days together. About half that time, she wasn't with Fresh, right? Then, they didn't see each other again until March 9th, right, in Barbados. They met in Barbados and hung out in Barbados for a few days, right? They were there for approximately 3 days. Then, she was in Miami for the rest of that period, right? So from March 9th to 24th, they spent time together here in Miami and also in Barbados. That's where she met his family, etc. Right?
So, again, you can see they've been dating on and off since November of 2023 when they met and they started dating. They started sleeping with each other. It was, it's on and off relationship. She was in New York. He's in Miami. She would come in and out and basically, they have their fun. Simple as that. Let's continue.
Then, so what? We're talking about 20 days here that they spent. Even though they knew each other since November, she was in China for a period of time, New York, etc., come back and forth. So they've spent about, I'd say, roughly 15 to 20 days together, right? Cumulatively. During the course of this time, there were a bunch of red flags that Fresh noticed that made him say, you know what, I don't know if I could take this girl seriously. Number one, he had mentioned to her that there was a guy in Las Vegas. As you guys know, we go to Las Vegas all the time to do, Access Vegas, etc. We'll actually be there tomorrow, okay? And when we were out there, a photographer had said, oh, I know her. And he didn't say anything bad. However, when Fresh mentioned to her that someone in Vegas knew her, she got really nervous and scared. And he was like, that's weird. Why would you get so nervous? Right? Number two, she has 3 phones, okay? 3. He saw, towards the end of the relationship, and what made him kind of say, I don't want to deal with this girl anymore, was he saw random conversations with 4 numbers unsaved on one of her phones, okay? When they came back from Barbados, they were stopped by customs. They interviewed her for 2 hours, guys, okay? When she was being held at customs. You guys know I used to work for Immigration and Customs Enforcement as an investigator for Homeland Security Investigations. And normally when they detain you at the airport like that, something is going on. And they detained her for 2 hours, and she showed pictures of her and Fresh together, etc. More than likely, what I'm suspecting, I don't know this for a fact, but for them to detain her for 2 hours. Remember, guys, she's a foreign national. She's Chinese. She's here on a visitor visa, which she's admitted on other podcasts, by the way, which is typically a B1, B2 visa. They probably think that she's here working illegally or maybe doing some kind of sex work, which we're going to get into that as well. Okay? We don't know for a fact, but for them to hold you at the border like that tells me something, right? Then, after Fresh cut the relationship off with her, she finally admitted that she had sugar daddies in the past. She took off to New York right away, right? And she didn't. And we'll show an Instagram picture right now, actually, real fast, of when she took off. So she goes, after Fresh told her, "Hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't intend on marrying you, and I'm not going to get you an apartment because, mind you, this all started, guys, because she wanted an apartment and Fresh said no, right? And she so she leaves abruptly and she drops the Instagram story saying bye, going to find a better life, right? As she's getting on a plane to go back to New York, and she's been in New York.
So, from what you heard there, as I've already told you on Talk Live, Fresh wanted nothing to do with her. He wanted to end the relationship because of all the red flags were popping up, realizing that she may have been a call girl, she may have been an escort, that she may have been a sugar baby, that her reputation was too tainted for him to be around her, so he wanted nothing to do with her, so he said no. And the final straw was the demand from her asking for a condo from Fresh. He said no. The relationship ended, and she went back to New York. But again, she wasn't done with it. She clearly wasn't done with it. Let's continue.
New York since, right? She left on or about, I want to say, March 26th. I think is the day that she left, March 26th. So they get back. So the timeline, again, November 21st, they meet, okay? They hang out again December 28th to January 10th for a period of time. Then from March 9th to the 24th. He basically breaks up with her a day or two after they get back, after they're back in Barbados here in Miami. Says, hey, I don't want to get you the apartment. I don't want to marry you. I don't think this is going to work out like long term, because she wanted a serious relationship. So she gets on a plane and leaves on the 26th, right? Mind you, well, actually, no, we're going to talk about that later on. We're going to talk about the pregnancy in a whole other chapter. We got a couple chapters on this thing. But I just wanted to give you guys the relationship, okay? So that's how they met. That's how long they've hung out with each other and known each other. Though they've known each other since November, cumulatively speaking, okay, they only spent roughly between 15 to 20 days actually hanging out with each other and speaking to each other. And during the course of them meeting and hanging out with each other, Fresh is vetting her. He's testing her, he's asking her questions, etc. And she failed the test, right? She failed the test. These are a couple of the red flags that he noticed while he was hanging out with her in person that made him say, I can't commit to this girl. I can't take this girl seriously. Mind you, he was doing his thing and he had other women as well, which is something that she was also angry about during this whole situation. So there we go. Now that we have an idea of the relationship, let's get into the other elephant in the room, okay? We talked about the first elephant in the room with the relationship and Fresh being an idiot, which he is. Let's just be honest here. He made a big fucking mistake. And it is what it is. Guys make mistakes. No one is perfect. But this one was a big one. And we got to take accountability for that. He fucked up here, right? So as you guys know, she's been running around. She went on Abba and Preach's pod, right? And I'm not surprised. Abba and Preach have been making videos on us for years now at this point. They've made somewhere between 30 to 40 videos on us.
Actually, it's been confirmed by Abba that they made 44 videos on this gentleman. Now, Abba and Preach are pretty darn good YouTubers. And they have a very, very big following themselves. But to do 44 videos on one person, on one group, I mean, it's been a back and forth banter. They do not like each other at all. But it's a feud that has been continuing for a few years now, and it doesn't see any sign of stopping. But let's continue with this.
Talking shit, trying to attack our character, etc. And other podcasts as well she's went on. Talking about this story, etc. She's essentially been doing a press run the past few days ever since she leaked this phone call and text messages, right? And I'm going to show you guys a clip. One of the things she's been doing is saying that she is not a sex worker, right? So let's go ahead and play the two clips where she says this. Here's from one podcast, which I will not name.
They're accusing me for being escort and being on this kind of website. Just use the brand. If I'm a Miss Asia and I'm a former bodybuilder, why would I put myself on the internet? It doesn't make sense. Website. That is
it doesn't make any sense. We even one thing that I didn't.
Okay, so he says, yeah, doesn't make sense. I don't believe it. Yeah, you're not. Now let's go ahead and play our favorite YouTubers here, because and it's interesting because
okay, I'm gonna stop here because they're gonna go, you can find out this for yourself. Ab and Preach have done I'd say about 3 or 4 or 5 videos on this certain segment of things. They've really gone in on Fresh and Fit in regards to this saga with Fresh and Jin Chang and her entitlement as sex worker. But we're going to go a little further on in, and we're going to have the tapes revealed here. Let's see. Yes, indeed. We're going to get into the interview with Jin Chang and Fresh's reaction to the Jin Chang interview from Aber and Preach, which was very, very, very serious sort of business anyway. So they are not going to be making amends anytime soon. But let's continue with this.
They were in such a rush to get this video out and try to make us look crazy that they couldn't even spell. That just goes to show how thirsty these clowns are for attention, bro. Dudes went and did a video immediately and shot it. Just shot it. Oh, God, we got to make content. Oh! That's how they'll preach anytime something happens. We literally pay these bums bills, man. Let's go ahead. Let's run the clip.
I'm not softballing it.
No, I am mad at you.
No.
I'm
She's like, I don't want to be too intense and like rush monogamy, so I'm accepting this. But like, but you want to have a baby with them.
Yeah, I understand because I just felt like I just feel like I'm not that type of girl that I have to be with someone for years to get married, or if I like someone, I can have a kid with him for like a week. Like, it doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. I was with someone for 9 months. He really wanted to marry me. He's American. And I didn't want that. I ended that. When I met Walter, I just felt like, wow, there's so much chemistry.
What?
Okay, well, we gave you a bit of the clip of the video there. Fair use. And quite simply, you can see in her eyes that, she literally says to everyone that, hey, you know what, she can fall in love with some guy after a couple of days and have a baby for him. I mean, what's wrong with that? Seriously. Have 1,000 seats over there while we discuss adult matters here. And quite simply, we know what you're about. You saw a target, you saw a mark, and you went after it. You went after it, Jin Chang. You did. And Fresh is silly. Let's not exonerate his fault in this as well. He is silly for going in rather raw, as the nomenclature would say, as street nomenclature would say, street language would say. He went in raw on this lady, and he took chances. He decided to roll the dice. But to say that now we don't know if this woman is pregnant or not, that is still in question. But let us get into the whole accusation here anyway. So before we go into this, let me just see about there. Here we go. The text messages. This is it. Is she really pregnant? Here we go. So let's get into it. Is she really pregnant?
Florida. Let's roll the clip. So she calls him a week later. After, mind you, a week after giving Fresh a negative pregnancy test, she calls him a week and says this dumb shit.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
Let me roll back a little bit because
so obviously this goes out plastic surgery, etc.
As Myron is saying here, Myron from Fresh and Fit is saying here is that after the relationship is over, she went and did a pregnancy test. That first pregnancy test proved negative, so she wasn't pregnant. Now she alleges a second pregnancy test happened, and she is pregnant. So we're going to get into that right now. And you heard a bit of it there in that she's saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant. What are we going to do about this?" So let's get into this backstory before we get to the head story.
very vain person. All right. So in his head, he's thinking, okay, she don't want to have a kid. She want to ruin her body. I've told her I don't want a kid. She agrees that. She did a pregnancy test. It's negative. So then a week later, she calls and says, oh, I'm pregnant. Right? Which we have the video right here. Let's play it real quick. Do we have it, Bills? Yeah, the call. So obviously he's in shock. Like, what the hell? We're going to have kids. What's going on here? So she calls him and she records it. She records it prior to calling him, which, by the way, is a felony in the state of Florida. Congratulations. You committed another crime besides what you did in China, right? Getting fired from your job for embezzling. And also on top of that, committing acts of potential solicitation here, which we have video proof of. You're committing crimes all over the place. And then you also committed a crime by recording this phone call. It's illegal to...
So, yes, this lady is not virgin to the life of crime. That's to borrow a pun. Yeah, she's not a virgin to the life of crime. She has been charged with crimes in China, and also she's been guilty of prostitution. The crime of prostitution here. I believe it was here or in New York. I mean, here in North America, be it New York. So. She's not used to a life. She's not immune to a life of crime. She's not innocent of a life of crime. So again, she saw Mark. She saw Fresh. She saw the money that he was wheeling around. She said, "You know what? I'm going to take my chance. I'm going to get that high value man. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get pregnant." So let's see about these accusations here.
It's a recorded phone call in Florida. Let's roll the clip. So she calls him a week later. After, mind you, a week after giving Fresh a negative pregnancy test, she calls him a week and says this dumb shit.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and then it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing.
Note the irony of this all, that she was engaged in a sinful practice, that being prostitution. She had multiple, I wouldn't say multiple, well, she's had a few crimes done in China, but now she's claiming religion for the child. Can't make this shit up. Let's go.
Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Probing questions to get a response.
Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids.
And she knew that. That was not news.
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Pause. See, guys, like the fact that she's like, bro, who does that? Who calls, right? Like, and this is what I'm trying to say when I say we got to question everything, right? She calls him, recording the phone call, asking probing questions to try to get an emotional response to make him look crazy.
Fair use.
They had agreed that they were not going to have kids, and you guys saw even in her own interview, she never got confirmation from Fresh that she wanted kids. He told her we're not going to have kids. She agreed to them not having kids. She admitted that in the interview as well. Right? But then she calls him saying, I'm pregnant. And on top of that, she had done a pregnancy test a week before. So let me ask you all a question. With the totality of the circumstances, do you think she's honestly telling the truth here with her being potentially pregnant? She's been doing a fucking press run the past week, going on every single podcast that will have her to talk about this, to bring up her brand and bring up her new Twitter that she just made and her Instagram. She's been doing interviews all over the place. Who would do that if they were actually pregnant with someone's kid? She's been doing a social media blitz. Okay? Then she has the gall to make a joke with these idiots and say, yeah, I'll name the kid Apple Preached, Chen, whatever. Like, what? Who does that? If you were actually pregnant, would you actually do this stuff? Right?
Nope.
The reality is this, guys. He didn't want to be with her. He sent her home. She got angry about it. Waited a week. Someone probably got in her head while she was up there in New York. And she said, you know what? I'm done with this guy. But I'm going to burn down the whole building while I do it because I'm angry and I feel a certain way. So I'm going to let my emotions get the best of me, and I'm going to air out all this stuff because they're not going to know about my past in China. They're not going to know that I got fired from a job for embezzling. They're not going to know that I was running around selling myself to people on the internet. They're not going to know that I was a sugar baby and that I was doing all this other stuff. They're not going to know that I stole money. We do now, Jin Chen. We know who you really are. You're not credible at all. Because you did it. You thought that your past in China wouldn't get back to us, but it did. Because in your own foolish attempt to go viral with this, people came forward and told us who you really are. You thought you would escape China and your past back there, but it came back to haunt you, and it's coming back to haunt you now. And you're getting buried with the fucking truth. Because everything I showed is factual. We know who you really are. We know what you really do. We got video. We got documents. Everything.
So let's leave it there, guys. And there it is. There it is. Now, again, there are two sides to the story. She has her she has her side, and she is allowed her day in court. / she is allowed to prove her pregnancy, which I don't really see going anywhere. I do not see this pregnancy going to term. And even if it does go to term, then I don't see those two getting together and having a reconciliation. The fact of the matter is, here's another example of why modern women are trash. She saw a mark, she went after it, and bang. Now, the only problem was with on Fresh's part is that Fresh went and had sexual intercourse with this woman without protecting himself. If he did protect himself, then he would have no worries. But, you know, certain guys have certain ways of doing things, and it's got himself into trouble. Now, again, I'm going to leave that there because you can, I mean, it's literally all over the net. You can do your own research. It's widely available for everyone to see. But what I want to bring to bear before we end the show tonight is what the lawyer, here's the lawyer and Mr. James Sexton. Now, we had a show on Mr. James Sexton about divorce and about relationships and how it is so business-like these days and how it doesn't behoove a man of the modern world who is of a good amount of intelligence and worth should get into any sort of marriage, because marriage is without a prenuptial agreement, because quite simply you're literally taking a huge risk by doing so, because half of your fortune, what you've been working for all your life, could be taken away in one fell swoop on a woman's whim, mind you. On a woman's whim. If she wants to seek pastures new and she wants to divorce you, it's no fault divorce. They can take half. So for you to go into a relationship without signing a prenuptial agreement with modern day relationships, it's another way of a modern woman being trash. Because they will take whatever they can get. Remember, most women's fortunes, especially the richest women in the world, are built through two things: inheritance and divorce. So, just letting you know that. But here we have Mr. James Sexton. We have already featured him here on Talk Live about his takes on love, relationships, divorce, and marriage. And he had a very wise thing to say about this whole situation. So again, I'll let him cook here, and then we'll end to our...
would be absolutely against my advice. Sorry to spoil the party to everyone who wanted to hear all the salacious details at this moment. However, there are some things that need to be said, and I'm happy to say them. What I'll say, first of all, is, you know what? I have good news and I have bad news. You've had a hell of a week, so I'm going to let you pick what you want first. You want the good news first? You want the bad news first?
Man, it's been tough, bro. Yo, just give me good news, bro. Give us the good news, man.
Good news? Okay. Yeah. Here's the good news. There's a lot of question as to when a man can truly say he's successful. You know, I have a client who's worth $8 billion. I represent professional athletes, celebrities, primarily because I'm based in New York City. I represent a lot of people in finance, hedge fund people, crypto people. And there's always a question about, when are you really successful? Is it your first 10 million when you become an 8-figure kind of guy? Is it the first time you buy a Lambo and you pay cash for it? Is it the first time you fly private? Is it the first time you buy a jet? Is it when is it? And what I will say, as someone who's been practicing family law for 25 years, is a man is really not truly successful until the 304s come out of the woodwork and say, I have your baby. I'm pregnant with your baby. I need to talk to you about the baby. What are we going to do about the baby? And surprisingly, instead of having that conversation like a...
Or the accusations of the rape. Remember, they have that in their arsenal as well, as we've shown here on Talk Live, and that ruins men's lives all the way down in 2 ways to Sunday. But I'll let him cook. He's still cooking.
Civilized human being with a working prefrontal cortex, most of the time what they choose to do is to post it on social media, because that's absolutely what a good future mom,
as has been shown here tonight on Talk Live,
human being who's not just looking to shake someone down for money would do. You go right to social media. It certainly isn't the kind of thing a clout-chasing no one would do. So ultimately, I want to congratulate you. That's the good news, is that you have officially arrived, my friend, and you are sitting among some of the greatest, most celebrated, wealthiest people in the world, many of whom I have represented, but you never heard anything really about it other than the little momentary blip that it came up, if at all, because they did what is now unfortunately going to be the bad news. And that is, there are two words, my friend, that are not in your vocabulary currently, and they haven't been for years, and it's the reason why you're successful. But you need to repeat those two words after me, so let's practice together right now. Ready? No.
No.
Comment.
Oh, comment. Okay. Okay.
No.
No.
Comment.
Comment. All right.
Okay, so you got to learn to say that.
Wait.
And it's really unfortunate because I know you are dying to talk about many of the things, many of the counter narrative, the facts as opposed to the fictions, the way that things are weaponized and weaponized inappropriately, the massive holes in stories, that there's a lot to be discussed. But revenge is a dish best served cold.
Wait,
and right now, there are civil and criminal penalties for the kinds of behaviors that we're looking at right now. So I want you, as your counsel, and again, you're free to ignore my advice. Plenty of times people ignore my advice, and sometimes I'm grateful when they do it because it creates a lot more chaos, which makes me a lot more money. Peace does not make me any money. Chaos makes me money. But I'm telling you, my advice to you, and I've said this to you earlier privately, is there has to be, for the moment, no specific comment. There really has to be, because the level of issues that are being caused right now by a third party in terms of what they are exposing themselves to. There's an old saying, never interrupt the enemy when they're in the process of committing suicide. And this is a situation where you are, as much as I know, you are dying to get the counter narrative and the facts out there, the reality out there, as opposed to the garbage that's out there right now.
Yeah.
An intelligent, strategic, successful man knows that irrationality, impulsivity, and emotionalism are luxuries reserved for the ladies. They are not for an intelligent, strategic, thoughtful man who is making tactical moves on the advice of counsel. So that is my little rant. That is my little caveat. And I'm glad you gave me the chance to say.
I got to say.
So I'm going to leave that there. So, he's right. And it's been shown time in, time out in the three examples. That's why I wanted to have the last word. James Sexton, family litigation lawyer, divorce lawyer, highly touted divorce lawyer in New York State. What he said is true. It's absolutely true. It's been shown time in, time out on Talk Live. Women will talk, and they will create the rope in which they will hang themselves with. Modern women will do it. As Layla Red did, as Ms. Sonya did, as Jin Ten did. All of them, basically incriminated themselves. They did. Through extortion, through theft, through porn, revenge porn, through misuse of an NDA, through going against an NDA, let me say, through all these different measures that these women have gone through. They have literally incriminated themselves. They've literally disallowed themselves from getting any sort of money in any sort of way unless they have concrete proof of pregnancy from their paramours. And these gentlemen realize this, but the bad thing is that in the process, if these gentlemen aren't careful, they'll lose their livelihoods, as in the case of Trevor Bauer, and as in the case of the likes of Johnny Depp, as in the case of the likes of Matt Ariza, as in the case of the law student in New York, Mr. Parasuflu. Sorry about that. The law student from Yale Law School. So they may lose the chance of going into their career, if not going into their career altogether. A 6-figure career at that. A 7-figure, if not 8-figure career at that. As in the case of Trevor Bauer. As in the case of Cenat. So let's bring it back here. So that's why I bring this show to you as such. So let's go back to the full cam and clean this up as it hits the hour 30 mark, which is where I wanted to end. Modern women are trash, especially the high-value men. It's been said time and time again. And as Mr. Sexton has said in his video, so eloquently, you know you've made it to the top when women see you as a target. When modern women see you as a target for extortion, see you as a target for pregnancy, see you as a target for any sort of crime. Any sort of crime in which they can, they can extract resources from you and give it to them for no work whatsoever. And if not, they'll be able to ruin your life altogether. And so I say to any man within the sound of my voice, if you're a high-value man, please protect yourself, because there is a target on your back. There is no doubt about that. Modern women are indeed trash, unfortunately. Now, that is not to say that a good amount of them aren't good, but they have to all be vetted. All of them need to be vetted, because you don't know the wolf from the sheep nowadays. You really don't. You really, really, really don't. You got to do your due diligence on Instagram. You got to do your diligence on any sort of OnlyFans. You got to do your diligence in terms of people you know. You got to do your diligence in terms of social media. You got to do your due diligence every and anywhere, because women will see you as a target. Absolutely. Trevor Bauer is being sued 4 times by different women, all within the last year, and all proving to be unsuccessful. Thank goodness Mr. Bauer has covered himself and has taken evidence at every beck and turn, to a point where no law firm wants to take on the on these women accusers as clients. They don't. Thank goodness Cenat did his due diligence with regards to Layla Red, so that she incriminated herself and is liable not to obtain any funds that she's seeking in terms of extortion. None. I don't see her getting a dime from Cenat, because his lawyers are too powerful, and I think too, erudite for them to to allow any sort of funds outside of their legal fees to be extracted from Mr. Cenat. And he's covered his bases. He's done the research. He's got his own amount of evidence to back him up. And also in the case of Fresh and Fit, where, the only way she can get anything from this man is through her pregnancy. And if it is true or not, we do not know. But that is one thing that that Fresh did not do correctly, is the fact that he didn't protect himself. And now he's exposed himself to 18 years of, a bit of pain. I wouldn't say a lot of pain, a bit of pain. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But that's what happens in these sort of spaces. That's what happens to high-value men. They need to be able to protect themselves so that such eventualities will never come to be. But that's that's in the case of the richest among us to the average man among us. I mean, the only way you can be saved from this misery is if you are, you're unsuccessful. Let's face facts. If you're unsuccessful, you don't need to worry about these certain things, because no woman's coming for you. But if you are a success, and if you have notoriety, and if you have status, and if you are good at what you do and are paid well to do it, chances are you'll have a target on your back. And that's when modern women are trash. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live here tonight. Thank you very much. It's a short Friday, an hour and a half. I wanted to get that in. I'm finished my show here. I'm going to release. We have a few Talk Live minutes ready and in the holster and ready to go. So we're going to release those tonight. And then we're going to release those tonight and throughout the weekend. And then we're back again next week. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for all the participation tonight. And we'll see you next week. And good night from Toronto here on... Oh, wow. Sorry. Here on IG. And thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live here on YouTube. And we'll see you soon. And have a great weekend. It's going to be a great weekend here. I hope it's a great weekend for you there. How about Arsenal playing?